I get where you're coming from here, and I'm gonna try to explain in good faith. And that means we're gonna have to do some math, so I'm really sorry about that. But I wanna use my personal finances to show that when you run the numbers, it's actually just not feasible for two parents to not work and for one of us to stay home with these kids that don't even exist. And bear with me, okay? Because I'm like not a great math person. So first things first, I make more money than my partner, so I would be the one who would continue to work and he would be the one that would stay home with our children. I currently make about $91,000 a year, and I just don't want to sound ungrateful for that because I am so grateful. If you had told me, 10 years ago that one day I would make $91,000, I would just be in awe. And when we do this calculation, I am going to assume that we have two children because we do have a parent who's staying home, so we decided to have two. That's also what we want. We want two. I'm an only child. I don't like being an only child. I would like my child to have a sibling. I think the first thing we need to consider is that regardless, I am the person that will make the baby, so I'm going to have to take time off of work. Even though I will be the one staying and working while, my husband stays home, it might be a blow to me career-wise. That might, just ruin my momentum for making more money for a little bit. So I just think that needs to be acknowledged up front. And I also want to say that not everybody is guaranteed leave. I'm very lucky. I get 6 months of maternity leave actually, which is just unheard of. It's phenomenal, and that should be the standard. Fully paid, by the way. A lot of people don't know that like fully paid leave is not a guarantee in America. A lot of people have babies and go back in a week because they have to. They don't have an option. Having a baby is also expensive. Hospital bills are expensive. Not everybody has fantastic insurance, and regardless, it's just expensive. You have follow-up appointments you have to do. You might have complications. It can just add a lot to your bill, so that's something else that needs to be taken into consideration. But okay, all of this aside, the child is born, everything's good, and I am back to work. This is how our finances will be broken down. Okay, so at a $91,000 salary, I am making $7,780 a month roughly. We immediately have to subtract $2,210 for taxes. I currently put $200 into my 401k every single paycheck, so that's twice a month. $400 total, but because my spouse also won't be working, he will not be able to contribute to his own retirement fund because he's not making any money, so I'm gonna go ahead and contribute money to him as well because he deserves to have a retirement plan too, especially, if we get divorced. He labored in our home, he deserves to have financial security as he gets older. So anyway, then we have to deduct payments for our medical plan. So right now my partner and I are on the same medical plan. We pay about $500 a month. I think when we upgrade to a family plan, I'll be gracious here and say I'll wager it'll be $600 a month. I also pay union dues, but that's like $30. I'm not even going to include it here. So that leaves us with $4,170 to work with for the rest of the month. And you might be thinking that's so much. Okay, let's do the math. So our rent for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment is $2,150. We're not going to downgrade our apartment to like a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. That just makes absolutely no sense, especially since we have 2 kids. So we are going to stay in this very small apartment, and we're going to pay $2,150, which is pretty standard for our area. And we're not going to move because we're close to family. This is where we grew up. We've always been here. It's convenient for our jobs, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so for utilities, I think this is all we have. We have water, power, Wi-Fi, and phone. It's weird that like everything is $70, but it usually is. Here, I'm absorbing his cell phone costs for